welcome to the Lori Lulu Crochet Podcast, episode 24. My name is Lori. I live in the Chicago suburbs with my husband Ryan and our two cats, Dixie and Daisy. And I love to crochet. You can find all that crochet goodness on Instagram and Ravelry. My username is LoriLulu327. You can email me. It's a good way to get a hold of me. It's a special email for this podcast. It's LoriLulu327@gmail.com. And there also is a Ravelry group for this podcast. There'll be a link down below, but it's the Lori Lulu Crochet. If you go on Ravelry and search groups, you can find it. Just want to welcome any new viewers and my returning viewers. Hello again. I'm glad you're here. Shall we just get started? How was your week? Did you have a good week so far? It's Friday, November 15th. Yeah. I'm off today. As soon as my husband gets off work at 12:30, we're going to be leaving to go to a pastor and spouses retreat, which, for those of you who are new, my husband is a pastor. So that makes me a pastor's wife. Still getting used to that. Anyway, let's see. As far as this week, like I said in my little video before, we were expecting record-breaking temperatures, like freezing cold. Yeah, we got that. It felt more like January than November, and I'm not happy about that at all. I'm not a cold weather person at all, so why am I living in Chicago? I don't know. Other than that, really, we've been prepping for this retreat. A couple of months ago, I had to do a bunch of personality tests and stuff. That was for this retreat, so I'm not exactly sure what's going to be happening with that. But then, I feel like I'm all over the place right now. So yeah, I'm just nervous about this retreat. Let me just put it that way. But yeah, we had the record-breaking cold. We've had issues with Ryan's tire. We had to get that replaced. And then my tire light came on just like the very next day. I was like, what? And like, I've had to replace my tires for a while because I drive a lot. I have about a 46-mile commute, so I put a lot of miles on my car every day. So I knew I was going to need new tires anyway, but it's just very anxiety inducing. Can I say that? Like, several times this week, I've woken up at like 2 in the morning, wide awake. My stomach is just rolling. Just like, I compare it to like the night before the first day of school. Like, I would always get really sick the night before the first day of school. So I don't know why. I mean, I understand with like the tire stuff, but like a couple weeks ago I woke up with this and why am I anxious? I shouldn't be anxious. And then I started thinking, what if I'm forgetting something that I need to be anxious about? And then like it started this whole new thing. Like, oh, this needs to stop. So we can add anxiety to my list of mental health issues. I've been dealing with depression, and I've had a couple down days the last couple weeks. And then of course, I think anxiety and depression kind of go hand in hand. Like when you're down, you're like, oh, I need to get back up, and I build myself up, like, anyway. And the other day, I was going through my Bible reading devotional plan, and it had me reading Ecclesiastes, which when you're on a down swoop in your depression, Ecclesiastes is not what you need to be reading. Let me just say, because everything is meaningless. It's all just a chasing after the wind. Like, yeah. That did not help me. But it's only the Bible reading plan I had, I only had to read it like 1 day a week, which actually I'll be finishing it next week, but anyway, a lot of blah 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 rambling here. So most of you are here for yarny goodness, so let's get on with that, shall we? Let me just close this window curtain. Ugh, I noticed my hand was like getting blown out when it would go into the sunlight. So, are we ready? So, I don't have very many, I have a couple finished objects that I can show you. I have one make in progress, and then I have a bunch of stuff that I need to get started. So, we'll start with finished objects. What am I wearing? I am wearing I call it my Floridian Vanya Cow, because it was living in this bag that I got from Kalisha from the Quirky Monday Craft Cast. She lives in Florida. The author, creator of the Vanya Cow is the lovely Hannah from the Cozy Cottage. She lives in Florida, and the colors just remind me of Florida. So I'm gonna wear this today in the cold, and I'll just be reminded of Florida and thinking of the warmth there. So the yarn that I used is very good. It has the price tag right over it. Manos del Uruguay. The colorway is Mango Berry. It is 100% wool, is what it is. Yeah, it's lace weight. So for 100 grams, I got 874 yards. But for, let's see, I weighed it. For my cowl, where did I put it? For my cowl, I only used 30 grams. So I still have, and then I weighed the ball, and it said I had 64 grams left of this loveliness. Oh, I loved it. So when I actually balled it up, like you can see all the pinks and the yellows, and even there's some orange here. But there are like some tiny flecks of green, which is like a mango kind of thing, which I really like that. So here, let me show you. All this lovely goodness, lace weight goodness. And yes, it is so thin, and it's very lacy, but it does keep you warm because it's wool. I will say I did have trouble working with this lace weight. Just, you know, so tiny. And then I sliced my thumb when I was chopping veggies the other day, and so I had a band-aid on, and then trying to work with lace weight and a bandaged thumb was not easy. So anyway, but I love the pattern. I love how this turned out. I'm so excited for it. So, and I can enter it into the Vanya Cow, hashtag Vanya Cow. That's going until the end of November. So if you want to start it, it's being run by Hannah of the Cozy Cottage, and you have a couple of weeks still to get one done. Like, it doesn't take very long, honestly, if you put your mind to it. I have a bunch of other stuff that I was working on as well. So the other one that I wanted to show you was living in my Wonder Woman bag, because I love Wonder Woman, and actually I have my Wonder Woman cup with my water today. Try not to set that too loudly next to the microphone. So in August, I had gone to the Michigan Fiber Festival with my mom. Hi, Mom. And so I used birthday money and bought some yarn. And I decided to do an ear warmer with it. I don't even have any left. I'll tell you why in a bit. I can even show you what it was. So I don't have the pattern with me. Great. So I can't show you. But it's the Hope Ear Warmer by Rebecca Langford. The yarn I used was Allegheny Fiber Arts in the colorway Night Out. The Hope Earwormer is a free pattern, so I used a 5mm hook. So here's what I did. Isn't that so pretty? Let me not pull it. So it's purple with rainbow, and then it's cinched in the middle, and you could put a button on it. I decided not to because I didn't have a button that I really liked that went with this. But yeah, like I just love like the tonalness of this purple. Oh, so pretty. So yeah, and then wear it like that, and I've been wearing it all week and it definitely keeps my ears warm and I love it. Although when we had snow on Monday, I was trying to scrape the car off. You know, I don't have anything protecting this, so my hair was like flopping in the wind, and I'm sure I looked great with that. Anyway, so I got this done within a day. Posted it on Instagram. Look what I did today. And then I got a comment on my Instagram. And it's this girl. She's like, hey, you don't know me, but can I have that? No. Like, this is my birthday yarn. No, this is special for me. No, you can't have this. And so I got home and told Ryan about it. And he's like, oh, why don't you just give it to her? Find out her address and send it. No. And then the next day, we were out to eat, and Ryan was like, hey, that girl that commented is my coworker. I was like, what? And so, I was trying to explain to him, this is special yarn, like it's expensive. I can't just go buy it at Llama Llama, my local yarn shop. It's like I'd have to special order it and all that stuff. And he was like, oh, well, she's had a really bad week. Can you just give it to her? And I was like, no, I'm not going to give her it. Like, let me see how much I weighed it out. My ear warmer and the leftovers was the equal amounts. Like, let me see if I can make another one. So that night, while we're watching Nightmare Before Christmas, which neither one of us had really seen before, and it's not really our thing, but we've watched it. I can say I've watched it. And I crocheted one up for her real quick and sent it to her. So, and I had about 12 inches of yarn left over. So, but I gotta say, this Hope Earwormer, I really like the pattern. You need to go try it out. I did another one on Wednesday that I gave away already to his another coworker of his. She wanted that. And so I've had other finished objects, I just don't have them to show you. And then of course the scarf that I gave away on Sunday. That was special to give away. Anyway. So yeah, that's it. As far as finished objects, like I said, make some progress. I only have one. And that is living in my Starry Night project bag. This is my sock head. Like I've seen sock head hat. I've seen sock head slouch beanie. I've seen several versions of this pattern. The yarn that I'm using is hand dyed by my friend Lisa. And it's these lovely blue tonals. I've been trying to get a lot of stuff done, so I've really only done an inch, maybe 2 inches of the hat. I really like how this is striping up. I think it's really cool. Maybe I'll go another inch. But really, like, I didn't want to do a whole lot because I was waiting for my double pointed needles to come in, which I just got those last night. Ordered these from Webs, which is yarn.com. It's Knitter's Pride Zings, and it's 3mm, US 25, or Yeah, US 2.5, sorry. So, hopefully soon, I can go to Llama Llama and have somebody help me get these put on. So I'm kind of nervous about this because, again, I'm learning how to knit. I don't know much. I may take this with me to the retreat and work on it some more, get some more rows. We'll see. So, that's my only make in progress. And I have a big pile of stuff to show you that I'm going to be starting. Let me take a break though. Grab a drink of water. Okay? Okay. So I have to pause every so often because after like 20 minutes or so, my phone will just stop recording. So, we take pauses throughout the podcast. Anyway, so my to-be section. I've been yarn shopping. Like, it is full. So pretty much my husband has been touting my praises. And so I've got a couple commissions to get done for his coworkers. Oh, but first I wanted to show you with my double pointed needles. I also ordered this. It is West Yorkshire Spinners Air Valley DK. Oh, it's DK? Oh no. That might not work. I thought I'd... Okay. I needed something white for to do heels, toes, and cuffs of socks because I want to start knitting socks. Oh, this isn't fingering. This may be a problem. Let me know if you think this would be a problem. But, you know, it's like heels and toes, you want them to be thick and durable on socks, right? Let me just try it. We'll see. But I wanted white for the colors that I already have. I didn't really want any other... Like, I figured this would be very universal for different colors that I got. So, yeah. Let me know what you think. And I may just try it and see. Okay, so there are some commissions that I may get paid for. I may not. We'll see. That's a whole argument that my husband and I have had. Anyway. But there are some gifts that I'm doing. We'll start with this one. So this is Mainstays, which is the Walmart brand. It's their cheap yarn, but it's really, really soft. So there's a restaurant that Ryan and I love to go to, just down the road. It's called Royal Berry Waffle House. And when we go, we always try to get the same waitress because she understands Ryan drinks a lot of water, so she just brings a pitcher of water for him. But she just had a baby boy, so I'm going to make a baby boy blanket for her. I have 2 skeins of this. It's Mainstays. The colorway is Blue Skies Variegated. And I thought, you know, she works at a Waffle House. Maybe, let me get the right pattern here. Maybe I should do a waffle blanket. So this is a free pattern from the Crochet Crowd. It is the baby waffle blanket. This one calls for pipsqueak yarn. I don't even know. I haven't even seen that in the stores lately. Do they still make that? Anyway. But it calls for an eye hook, which I think will be fine with this. What does this one call for? Yeah, it calls for an eye hook, so it should work. So yeah, so I will be making a waffle blanket for Gabby, which I'm excited about. And then, you know, I made a hat for my friend who was going through a hard time. I made a scarf for a lady at church who just needs lots of prayers because she's going through a bunch of testing for lung transplant, all that. And then You know, it's like, I felt like both times I just felt like God was saying, Lori, I want you to make this for so-and-so. I want you to make this hat. I want you to make this scarf. And so I know for some of you, you're not religious or believe any of that, but I do. Like, I really feel like God calls me to make stuff for people. And there's a couple. So the grandma goes to our church. The couple doesn't. They just had a little baby. Actually, the baby wasn't due until February. Sorry. I got a frog in my throat all of a sudden. But they did testing and they found like there was a lot of stuff going on with the baby, and so they decided to do an in utero surgery. And that was on Wednesday, and things started happening, and they just decided to go ahead and deliver the baby. So she's really early, and just needs a lot of prayers, a lot of miracles for this baby. But, you know, before, it was a couple weeks ago, you know, I felt like, oh, I should make this blanket for this baby, even though Grandma is a crocheter and has been making a blanket for her. And of course, I thought, oh, I have until February for this one. No, not now. So I need to get started on it. So I just wanted to do a simple white, soft blanket. So I got Yarn Bee Sweet Delight Pump in the colorway Angel. And I don't know if you can see, it's blowing out. Can't even get it. But it's not like Stellina, but it's got like extra shiny threads throughout. So it's extra special. It's not just plain white. And the pattern that I decided to go with, I don't know if any of you have watched Call the Midwife. I really like that show. I've only seen like the first 4 seasons though. Just haven't gotten around to it. But there's a blanket that's been going around the internet. Everybody's been making it. It's the Call the Midwife blanket. But this is what it looks like. It's so pretty. And I figure with that delicate white, it'll just look so awesome. I've made it once before. I've made this pattern once before. I don't have the name of who did it. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I'll put a link down below. But yeah, I've done this pattern once before and I loved it. It was super easy and I felt like it went really fast because you have these blocks and you're like, oh, just one more set of blocks, just one more set of blocks, and then you're done. So there's that I'm working on. Yeah, so if you think about Ella, which is the baby, just say a prayer for her. Okay, she needs it. The other one I wanted to show you. That's a pattern that I've never done before. So a coworker wanted a black infinity scarf, and of course, we're working with black, so I should charge extra, right? I got the Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek in the color black. I figure this is nice and soft. It'll work great. So the pattern that I'm doing, and again, it just says Michaela. I will put our Tiny Penguin Designs. We'll go with that. But it is the Simple Tilted Pairs Infinity Scarf. So there's the pattern. There's a better picture. So it looks like it's got lots of texture. So it should be pretty interesting, I hope, to work on. So yeah, I think I'll be taking that one with me on the retreat, getting that started, all that. So that's an infinity scarf for a coworker. The other commission I got is from one of my best friends. They just moved to South Carolina, and she messaged me on Sunday, and she was she sent a picture. They had gone to the University of South Carolina, a basketball game. And there was a kid there sitting there with, so the University of South Carolina, their mascot is called the Gamecock, which is a bird. And of course, I am a big University of Kentucky fan. That South Carolina and Kentucky are in the same conference. I don't like anything with South Carolina. But she messaged me and she was like, can you make me one of these? I was like, sure. But I was thinking, because she's a fan, she grew up in Iowa, so she's an Iowa State fan. So I was thinking she wanted an Iowa State. They're called the Cyclones, but their mascot is a Cardinal. Am I making any sense to you guys? So I was like, oh, no problem. I'll make you an Iowa State Cardinal. And then she was like, oh, I hadn't even thought of that. And I was like, oh, you wanted the Gamecock? And she's like, yeah. You know, we're going to these games now and I want to have something to wear. And I was like, okay. She's like, but could I get the Cardinal too? I was like, sure. I'll see what I can do. And then like the next day she's like, no, I don't want the Gamecock. Just make me the Iowa State one. I was like, awesome. I can do that. So their color is, they're red and gold. So I have this bright red Cardinal, Cardinal color. It's Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek. Actually, it's showing up a lot redder on here than it actually is. And it's the colorway red. So this will be, and then I have in my stash I have yellow for a beak and black and white for eyes. I found a pattern. I'm like, I think I can make something up for a Cardinal. It shouldn't be that hard. So this needs to get started soon. And then, and the last thing that I have is actually for my husband's coworker, but he is doing, they're doing Secret Santa, all that, and so he's like, can you make me something for me to give to her for Secret Santa? Okay. And one of her requests was for a purple infinity scarf, and he told me, make the one that you made for Sue, which is the Hadley Scarf, which is my pattern, put a link down below, and do purples. I was like, make me go buy purple yarn? Okay. So when I was at Hobby Lobby, I was just really drawn to this one, which is I Love This Yarn, and the colorway Paint Party. I just really liked all those purples and the blue and the pop of yellow. I really like that. So then sitting there with all the yarn in front of me, matching all the purples. You know, there is a big difference in purples. Like you have the reddish tone purples and the bluish tone purples, and those don't necessarily look good together all the time. So I went with more of a bluish tone. These are my colors, and then I have I'll have to stash dive for white. But I figured the white with these purples, that'll be pretty. That'll be nice when it's all striped together. So this one is grape, and this one is amethyst, which I think I've used both of these a lot in other projects. So this paint party will be fun to have in the mix. So it'll be purples and white. And that needs to get started, but that doesn't have to be done until like after Thanksgiving. So I've got time. The only other thing, I did figure out a way to fix my nativity sets so they stand up nicely. I will show those to you next time because hopefully I'll get those done. All those, and then it'll all be done. So that's it. I hope you have a great 2 weeks. Maybe I'll see you in 2 weeks. I don't know. November's kind of crazy. And that's it. So I hope you have a great well, by the time I get this uploaded, it'll be Monday. So I hope you have a great week, and I will see you later. Have fun with your crochet, your knitting, your crafting, all that. God bless. Bye. Hey, I just wanted to give a quick update on what happened on our retreat. So it was a quick 24 hours and back home. But yeah, it was just a great time of the renewal to the call of ministry for Ryan and for me, because quite frankly, the pastor's spouse has to be on the same team. And I say spouse because this is one thing what I'm very proud of the Church of the Nazarene for is we ordain women. We have since the very beginning of our church, and over 100 years ago, we haven't told women to go home. And if you're not up to date on church news, then you won't understand what that phrase means. But anyway, so in our group that was there, it was people who are pre-ordination and those who are being ordained in the spring, which I'm pretty sure that's my husband. He's in that group. But in our group that was there were 4 women who are on their way to being ordained, and that's just amazing. And it was just a great time of fellowship. So the Church of the Nazarene is a global church, but we're broken down into smaller districts. And I have been on this district for a long time. And so there were several people that I've known for a long time, got to catch up with them. And we always say that the Nazarene world is a very small world because somebody will know somebody who knows your family in some way or another. And so for most of our discussions and stuff, we were broken down into small groups, or they call them cohorts. And each cohort had 2 pastors who've been pastors for a long time, just kind of mentor us through this whole thing. And one of our cohort leaders, we're sitting there and he just kept looking at me and looking, and he's like, "Lori, what's your maiden name?" I said, "Jones." And I knew where he was going. And he's like, "Is your mom Joy?" And I said, "Yes, that's my mom." He's like, "Oh my goodness," because he had gone to college with her. And the whole weekend, well, it wasn't the whole weekend, the whole 24 hours, he was just like, "Man, it's like I'm back in time. You look just like your mom, you sound just like your mom, you laugh just like your mom. It's like I'm back in college." And I was like, okay. It's nothing new. I have gotten this my entire life. So, anyway, one of the people that we got to catch up with was our former pastor's wife, Pastor Heck, which is funny that his last name is Heck, considering Nazarenes are very conservative. He was our pastor for a long time, and she was actually our newlywed Sunday school teacher. And then when he passed away, we were there for about a year, and then we moved up here. And so it's like he passed away and we left. So we haven't really seen his wife for a while, and she was there. She was leading one of the groups, and not really, like, she was leading one of the sessions that we had anyway. And so it was great to get to see her and catch up with her. And then of course, lots of our friends are in this group with us, traveling through this ordination process with us. And so yeah, it was a great weekend. I did get lots of crocheting done. I started working on the black infinity scarf, and look at all I have done. Ooh. So this was all done while I was there. I may have to go get another ball. This is how much I have left. So yeah, I'll be working on that at Sunday school. and Sunday night service. We'll see how much I can get done today. Maybe I'll get it done in time for him to take it on Monday, tomorrow. Anyway, so this is truly me signing off for this podcast this week. So I hope you have a great week, a great Thanksgiving. If I don't see you before then, have a great week. Bye.